Can you just give us some background on signing Mandy and what you like about it?
Yeah. Look, again, through our recruitment policy, which is quite thorough. Long process. Some take time until the right one comes along. I kept stressing the importance of patience, and some people aren't. I know what that's like in football clubs, and with you guys, it's no different to what happens out in the field when a new coach comes in. But in terms of recruitment, it's very, very important in terms of the players that come into the football club. And Mandy wasn't there initially. I mean, he was injured at the time anyway, so we didn't know too much about him. But then there was mention of him about a month ago. And then we started looking deeper into the situation, the player, his background. And he was one, when he was a young player playing for Real Madrid, is no easy feat. You don't get signed up for that football club if you're a bad player, right? So we knew the pedigree was there, but as we also know that some young players don't move on, right? So then he continued on and had a very successful career in what was very strong competition in the Segunda League in Spain. So he comes at a good age as well. Look, yes, people may talk about the injury, but there's people also forget that Stephen Taylor had the same injury as Mundy. He had an Achilles injury that kept him out for a long time too, and we've tested him rigorously. He's another one that came, and I know some people question this trial process. Anyway, but he was willing to come over and show himself. So again, it tells you what the person's about. He could have said no. He had every right to say no. I don't want to waste my time. Why should I? But he's a guy that's got pedigree, played for Real Madrid, and he's willing to fly himself over and prove his worth. Admittedly, he was at a low level, but he's worked ever so hard to get to where he needs to get to at this point in time, and there's a lot of upside there as well, as far as he's concerned. So as he went on, I guess last week, and this is where it kind of triggered for us, where Mitch Nichols came off after about 10 minutes with a slight strain. We wanted to look after him, and I looked across and I thought, okay, I've got a couple of options there, but I'm going to throw Mundy in the deep end, swim or sink or swim basically, and he certainly swam. He was different class, and that's at a guy that's nowhere near fit against the current champions. The way he drove the midfield, the way he communicated his positioning, the type of footballer that he is as well. And I'm pretty big on knowing the history of players, where they come from, what their upbringing is, mums and dads, and all that sort of thing, because it makes it's the makeup of a person as well. He's from Las Palmas, right? So when I heard about Las Palmas and I knew about their fighters, right? They are, and they've had to fight for centuries and centuries. Their bloodline is like that. And so when I knew that he was from there, I thought, okay, I'll ask a couple of questions and see. And test him on that, and certainly what I've seen on the pitch is exactly what I thought and expected from someone from that area, and it's the same all over the world. So again, he ticks a massive box in terms of what we're about and what I want from my playing group as well. And here we are today, and really, really happy to have Mandy with us.
I think he's the kind of player who can complement Mikhail Kopczynski in the middle of the park.
Yeah, he can compliment anyone. He's the sort of player that makes it. Alex Rufer played from people telling me last week was the best game he's ever played for Wellington Phoenix, albeit a trial game. You still got to play. Let me tell you, Melbourne Victory at full strength, and they wanted to win that game. Okay, so for Alex Rufer to have partnered because Copper was injured, we didn't take him away with us, so we wanted to protect him, look after him. He had a bit of a strain as well. Alex got his chance, and he's really put his hand up. And I guess it's not just Copper. I think it doesn't matter who he plays with. He's going to complement and make that person better anyway, just through his communication, his positioning, and just his knowledge of the game. He knows when to play and distribute. He knows when to keep it. I don't want to give him too many compliments because he needs to improve, and I keep telling him up. And I think he knows that anyway. He's got that sort of mentality.
Is he sort of a straight defensive midfielder, sort of physical player, and you think, or something he can also play?
He can play. Oh, he can play. Don't worry about that. I mean, even against Olympic, when I didn't look after him, I played with 1-6, and I played with 2-10s. I didn't look like I said, I could have made it easier for him, but I wanted to test him, and he was breathing, out of his, where, right? Because it was tough for him, but that was his first sort of minutes back from injury. And again, he showed signs that, talking about playing, he can play. He was spraying balls, he was picking out the right moments when to do that, and he was tired. You know, he lasted 45 minutes and we took him off. We just wanted to also look after him at the same time. I know it's a bit of an oxymoron what I just said right now, but we needed to see something from him. But don't think he's just got this physical presence because he's only a lightweight at 77 kilos. What I mean by that is he's a competitor. You know, he does the 1v1 type of duels is what I'm looking for in a player. He's got that. You know, and like I said, he uses his body extremely well, and he uses the ball even better. And that's what I want, you know. I think I've said this from day one, this league's a transitional league, right? We want to be the best in those moments, right? And what we do and win the ball back is very, very important. And so he's already starting to understand what I want in transition.
Question for Armando. Where did you first hear about Wellington and how have you found coming here so far?
¿Entiendes?
No, se pasa tú,
Cuando he escuchado de Wellington, and what else did you say?
No, just how have you found it so far?
Y qué sientas de ciudad y del equipo y qué piensas cuando he escuchado y qué piensas ahora.
No, yo antes nunca había escuchado y no, o sea, no sabía que había un equipo que jugaba en otro país ni nada, pero ahora al venir aquí y ver la ciudad, ver el estadio, los compañeros, el club, el entrenador y tal, que es como una familia, pues la verdad que estoy muy a gusto y muy contento de estar aquí.
So initially I hadn't heard of Wellington, but now since he's been here, he's loving the vibe, he's loving Mark and the club, and he feels like it's a big family. Yeah.
First spell outside of Spain as well, was there a motivation to leave Spain or was it perhaps a situation thing?
Primera vez que jugaste fuera de España,
Sí.
¿Por qué has ido? ¿Por qué estás aquí? ¿Hay una motivación, algo así? O?
Bueno, la primera circunstancia es porque cuando me lesioné del tendón, al final estuve esperando por un equipo de España que por el límite salarial no pude fichar con ellos y bueno, me quedé fuera del mercado hasta ahora y que después me vine aquí a jugar aquí.
So he was obviously had the tendon injury and he was waiting in Spain. The market closed and then he saw this opportunity here in Wellington and took the opportunity to come over and see how it was and here he is.
Thanks. Can you ask him what sort of player, how would he describe himself as a player and what he thinks he can bring to the team?
¿Cómo juegas en palabras? Sí. ¿Y qué piensas que puedes hacer para el equipo y en esta liga qué puedes hacer?
Eso ya lo tendrían que decir ellos cuando me vean jugar, pero yo tengo mucho carácter, tengo claro dónde posicionarme, me gusta como mandar en el campo y colocar a mis compañeros y aparte cuando esté bien al 100% físicamente, pues mi físico también es importante y además que yo sé tratar bien el balón y tal.
Yeah. So he said you'll see when he plays, but he said he's a player with a lot of character. He's a winner. He says when he gets to 100% fitness, he's got the physicality to win duels, and he's someone that likes to support his teammates and link up with the play. Yeah.
He's only signed to a one-year contract, and obviously New Zealand is a long way to come from Spain. Is he sort of looking to maybe re-establish himself and his family somewhere else, or is there a potential for him to be here long term?
Bueno, solo tienes un año en tu contrato y bueno, ¿piensas que vas a estar aquí para mucho tiempo o quieres ir a otra parte del mundo? ¿Qué piensas?
Mi pensamiento es hacerlo lo mejor posible aquí, que lo hagamos bien, que si es posible que el club pues intentar hacerlo todo lo mejor posible, nuestros compañeros y todo el equipo para hacerlo bien este año e intentar hacer historia este año, ¿no? Y poder continuar aquí en el club.
Yeah, he said he's not thinking about that now. He's thinking about helping the team. He wants to help win at the club and make history, and then hopefully continue here.
Mark, just another announcement. You stay with Keegan Smith going to Tasman United. What was sort of the process there? Was it just discussing what was the best option for him in terms of game time and what he could expect?
Yeah. Yeah, look, I don't want to discuss that. I mean, today's about Monday, but clearly, look, I think I said it. Well, I did say it right from the outset that we were looking for a number one keeper, and we brought in Philip Courtois. Now, for his own development, he needs to play. Simple as that. I think he's best served going somewhere where he can play and develop his skills. There's nothing like playing week in, week out. I say that to all the young kids as well. We're building a very competitive squad in the football club as well, and having that discussion, we think he's best served doing that. And keep the door open for the future. Like I said, he can stay here for another 2-3 years. This year's going to be tough for him. Ollie Sale's done extremely well to become the number 2 now, so he pushed Keegan down the order a little bit. So he needs to play games.
Because he was announced to be signing on a 3-year contract initially, so was
yeah, no. I mean, that's what happens when coaches come. I mean, it's the same if I leave or when I leave. A coach might come in and have different views on the player. We certainly had a good look at things with a whole new coaching staff, not just the head coach. When we all came to the agreement that that was the best thing for him.
Is Mandy in the position to start next week, in terms of fitness?
Do you want to play next week?
Yeah.
There you go.
So he does understand.
He understands, mate, don't worry. And he speaks as well, don't worry. He's fine. I played the same game when I went to Germany for the first time. I got to learn the language very well. And I found out exactly why they were calling me a hairy pig, right? I was a bit overweight, and I had some hair in my chest and all that sort of stuff, right? Große Schweins, yeah. So it's good. He's a smart boy as well. Not as smart as Max, although he should be getting a bit of an upgrade in his contract being our translator. Normally you've got to pay for those sort of things, but they're good boys, mate. Yeah. He wants to play. Obviously that'll be my decision in the end. And I have to do what's best for this football club, and my job is to put out the best team, and at any given time, that's going to win a football game. At the same time, there's a duty of care on my behalf for my players, and I don't put anyone at risk. Like I said, Copper didn't come last week. Mitch is being looked after as well at the moment. And we've got to be careful with the way, coming back from injury, just how far he can go. But mentally, he's very strong, and he keeps pushing himself. And we've told him it's quite clear, anyone that comes into the football club, about their weights, about their skin folds, about the level of professionalism. And he already understands, his targets, and he's working extremely hard to get there. Everyone wants to play. Everyone's putting their hand up for selection. It's very healthy. I mean, this morning they were chomping at the bits to get to be in selection for not just for the first 11, but there's going to be a big fight for the bench as well. No one wants to miss out. It's pretty healthy, like I tell you. It's but we'll see. With Mundy, with being a foreigner comes pressure, right? And that's good pressure. He likes that. He thrives in that. Not everybody thrives on pressure. He embraces it. He says, "Yep, give me a challenge and I'll take it." That's why I like him.
You mentioned before Monday coming all the way here to trial. You had Andre Dion and Jacob Tratt at the trial. Have they now departed to go back to where obviously contracts been announced, but still suburbs to play there?
Yeah, look, made a decision in Sydney. Again, we brought. I mean, Jacob was here for a long time with us. Jacob wasn't an easy one for me. I've got a personal connection, relationship with the player, having coached him and having been there for him off the field as well. But again, none of my decisions are based on emotion. They're based purely on what's best for this football club. And we came to the conclusion that he didn't do enough, which was disappointing. It was hard for me because I've got a connection with a guy. And it was the hardest thing for a coach having to tell someone that it's just not going to happen, right? And I understand he was emotional as well, but so was I. I might have this thing about the way you might perceive me, but I care for my players. They're human beings, and we've got to show that side of us as well. And you probably don't see that in the behind the scenes, but I still stay in touch with him just to make sure that he's going okay. Andre de Jong's another one that I had a chat to and said probably not enough. I said yesterday that we're looking potentially for somebody else in that position. It could be Andre. We may not get that person by Monday either, but certainly, we're looking around. Somebody else came up overnight, which I won't say, but there's always room to bring somebody else in. We might not get those 4 that I mentioned in those positions as well, but we'll see. The other one is Callum Elliott, just so you know. He's been with us for a long time, and he's working extremely hard. He can play he's a smart kid as well. He can play in different positions, and I've played him in different positions, and he knows there's an opening somewhere. And when I asked him what his best position was, he was smart enough to say, well, that's the position I play, right? So he's a good kid as well. He's been working extremely hard. He's on track to get a spot as well. I mean, we're going to fill one more under-20 contract as well, and I've said I want to give the New Zealanders first crack at this.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't have signed him now? Because you haven't had him here for quite a long time. Is that, don't appear to be looking at anyone else for that under-20 spot as well?
Oh, no, not to say I haven't been looking for somebody else.
In front of you physically, I guess, or unless there are others.
No, there are others. That's just the way I work. Take it the way you want to take it. I'm not bothered if you don't like it, but I particularly with the young kids, okay? So the young kids need to understand a bit more about professionalism and what it means to be a professional footballer. Max has been there and done that. He's been there and done that. With young kids, their habits and behaviours that take time. And so having someone like Callum, who I think is a fantastic person, and has got all the attributes. I mean, he played left back in the qualifiers. So it tells you just how versatile he can be. But in terms of what we're looking for, we want to breed these young kids at the football club and teach them a certain way of what professionalism means. Okay, and they're all, like I said, habits and behaviours that start from when you wake up to when you come into the football club, when you train, how you apply yourself, what your attitude's like, what your effort's like. And young kids have this tendency to fluctuate a lot. Okay, so there's a reason why I've kept him on a little bit longer, because unlike the guys who've been there and done that, who understand professionalism and you know what you're going to get from them, they still need to, they sometimes go into the old habit, right? And that's just not here in New Zealand, that's in Australia as well. I had a lot of young kids that were coming through my football club at Sydney United as well, and they need to be taught a certain way of behaving and what professionalism means. Okay, and so probably one of the reasons why, if you want to know, it's taken so long, but yeah, is that enough? 25 minutes?
He's going to transcribe that.
Yeah. I don't know why your phone's there. Do you understand Spanish? You got Translate Spanish or something like that? Would you put your phone on there?
No, just because I want a better level over here.
Right, okay. Are you learning the language?
I'm learning the language.
Okay, good. We all are now. Yeah.
You've talked about Mundy's willingness to take on new challenges and responsibility, and you've raved about his leadership qualities. Even though he's a new player, will you look to sort of implement him into sort of maybe the leadership group within your squad, or will the language barrier perhaps be?
He's working hard to learn the language. That's not an issue. Football's an international language anyway. He gets it straight away. I'm talking in English and we're doing a tactical session. He's nodding his head. And then it's one thing nodding your head because I have players who do the same but have no idea and they don't do it, right? Who speak the language. He actually gets it, which is important for us. Leadership group, don't believe in that anyway. I'm not big on leadership groups. Leadership comes from everyone. Okay, so if you want to write a story on that, I'm happy to sit down for 25 minutes and talk about leadership and what I believe leadership means at this football club and how best for it to come to fruition. Leadership comes from everybody. Libby Kachache's only just turned 18. Sarpreet Singh's 18. I expect them to be leaders. Leadership groups, I've been part of them. I don't believe in them. I don't think they work for my own reasons. We're in our code, right? It may happen. It may be a cultural thing in union or AFL and things like that, but there are leaders everywhere. There are leaders in my support staff as well. Everyone's a leader. Everyone should be able to have a voice in the club, and there's no reason why a young player who's doing the right thing can't tell someone that's older who's not doing the right thing, hey, it's not what we're about.
Thank you very much.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done, Mundy.
You speak for me.